Alright y'all, welcome to Savala's Craft Barbecue. So today I'm going to be cooking a prime brisket on my Weber. I already have it trimmed. As far as the trimming, you want to go to about 1/4 inch. Usually shave off that mohawk to have it more flat or whatever. And that's about it. And then shape it, so it doesn't, if you have a lot of square corners or whatever, it'll burn up easier. So that's the reason why we shape it like this, okay? So first things first is I'm gonna start off with the meat side. All right. And I'm gonna season it with salt, pepper, granulated garlic, and a little bit of Lawry's. Okay, so I'm doing it on the Weber, so I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning so we have a little bit more flavor. I feel like since it's not on a stick burner, it's not gonna pack on as much smoke flavor as we would like. So that's the reasoning. All right, got that. Then I got my granulated garlic. Okay, just be careful, don't sprinkle too much. Hold it kind of high. All right. Got the Lawry's. And the 16 mesh black pepper. Forgot to take off the plastic. Or your pepper of choice, okay? There's no wrong way to season it, just there's a wrong way to cook it though, so. Be very liberal with it. All right, and then we're gonna get the sides. All right, then I'm gonna hit it on this other side, same thing. All right, so the way I got to set it up is I got this little pan on the bottom. If you can get something that takes up more room, do it. It's gonna drip a lot, that brisket, so you don't want all that juice going down or whatever. I got some oak right here, and I got charcoal with it burning on this side, and it's gonna do a snake effect to this side. Okay, shape it however you like. Before you close it, and that's it. I'm just gonna leave it there, check on it 4 hours or so. If it starts curling up or I notice it gets more darker around the weaker side, I'll put some foil to help keep it preserved. That's basically it. We're not gonna spritz it or do anything like that. We're gonna put the vent on this side so the smoke hits it. Put the vents right about there. Then the other vent will set right about there. All right, so we'll check on it 4 hours to see how it's looking. Okay, so I might as well show y'all my sausage while I'm doing this video anyways. So they've been on for 2 hours, I think, cold smoking, so let's see how they look. Looking beautiful. Nice color. These are jalapeno cheddar. I'm using high temp cheese with these. But anyways, let me close them. In a second, I'm about to flip them. Actually, I'm gonna flip them now. Get some color on the other side. All right, so it's been about 3 hours. It's very windy, so excuse the wind, but let's check it out. It looks pretty good, but what I'm gonna do now is just rotate the brisket. And the dripping's already started dripping in that pan, which is good. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna spritz it or anything, and let it All right, let's check out these sausages. So I think these sausages are about ready. So let's take a look. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's pull these things off. All right, y'all. So it's been 9 hours and I'm going to wrap this thing. And just so y'all know, it's probably at the stall. So it's not even at the stall. So it's pretty low, but the bark is dark and I want to protect it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it and then put it back on. And then we're gonna push it till it reaches like 205, 204. I like those high temps because they're very tender. But for right now, I'm just gonna wrap it. All right, so the brisket is done, and so I want to talk about a little bit of what the process was. So we trimmed the brisket, we seasoned the brisket, we put it on the Weber kettle around 12 p.m. And I took it off to wrap around 9 at night. I had that brisket smoking probably at 240 or so. So it was taking its time. I wasn't even watching it too much. Had friends over. I was making sausage, and I was just letting it sit there and just do its thing. But I had it at a low setting, so it wasn't overheating or anything like that. As you can see, whenever I temped it was like 150 or something like that. Whenever I wrapped it. Okay, so it's easy to me. Like using the Weber is like a pellet smoker because like it's just so easy for me now. And it's set it, forget it. Once we wrapped it, we open up the vents more. So once you wrap it, you boost up that temp. All right, and I think it was 2.5 hours, and then I pulled it off. If I'm not mistaken, it was like 207 on the point, and then around 210 on the 211 or so on the flat. Look, you don't have to go that high. You can pull it off earlier. It's up to you. A lot of people get scared with high temperatures, but you don't have to worry. I think if you around 215 or so is where you kind of want to start being like, okay, that's too much. But even at 210, you're still good. I promise you, you're still good at 210 internal. So we're gonna unwrap this thing, see how it looks. Oh, another thing is, once it was done, what I did was I set it on this counter with it still wrapped, right? And I let it rest for about 1.5 hours. I wanted the temperature, the internal temperature, to go down to around 150 or so, 150, 160. Once it reached that internal temp, it usually takes about 1.5 hours. I put it on a tray, put my lowest setting on the oven at what's 170, and I put it back and I put it in the oven. And what that does is it creates this long rest for your brisket. And I got done at 1 in the morning, so no one's gonna eat brisket that late. So what that does is it has a long rest. The fat continues to like just turn yellow, this pretty candy yellow, and and then I can eat it whenever I want. So I'm about to open it up. We eat some for breakfast, gonna give some to my neighbors. And yeah, we're gonna see how this looks. So hopefully, if we got that long rest, which hopefully it did it right, we're gonna see some yellow fat, all right? All right. Another good sign too is that darkness, right? That moisture in there. It's a good sign that fat was rendering and stuff like that. All right. And then we'll just, I don't want to get it everywhere. But whatever residual, whatever juices we have left, we'll just pour it on there, so. All right. There it goes. All right, pat it around. So, to me, it looks like a beauty. If I'm filling around this brisket, I'm noticing there's nothing hard. There's nothing, that's what I'm looking for. If there's anything real tough, that means that it ain't got a little burnt, which it happens sometimes. You look on this side, looking good. That fat is coming off real easy right there. So yeah, this is looking like a beauty. Let's slice into it and let's see what we got. Okay, so since this is the, I'm left-handed, so I do everything different. People usually have the flat on this side or so. So this is the flat area to people that are just learning, and this is the point area. So the muscles are gonna be different, all right? It's gonna be shaped a different, or pointing in a different direction, all right? So the grain is this way, right? So the grain is this way on the flat. So that's why I'm gonna slice it like this. On this side, the grain is facing this way. So that's why we're gonna turn it and slice it that way. First of all, what I usually do is I'll get, my first slice is where I can tell if this is gonna be a good brisket, right? But I can tell by holding it, I already know it's good and tender. So I'll take a decent slice right here. All right, so this is the end cut. And it's, as you can see, we got some good moisture. It's, the fat's yellowy, it's not whitish, which is good. So that's already a good indicator. So we'll put that aside. Then we want to make slices, they say like pencil thick for the flat. So we'll just go in, take our time. There's no rush. It's cutting like butter. So no rush, always take your time. Finish strong, like that. If you have, sometimes people have like, it'll get charred a little bit more here. And so when you're, cutting it, it'll, take off some of your brisket. So if that happens, all you have to do is make that tough stroke right here so it cuts it off. But we're gonna take a look at this flat, see how it looks. Okay. So, that's, to me, honestly, a little bit more fat than I like, but it ain't gonna be an issue. Look how moist that is. That's good right there. And remember, this is on the Weber kettle, so try to keep the slices together. It's gonna oxidize pretty quick, so you wanna keep these things together. You only wanna slice it when you're about to eat it. It's really the best time. So this is the, in my opinion, my favorite part of the brisket which is like a mix of the middle part, which is like basically a part of the lean and the fatty brisket. Look at that baby right there. See, that's perfect for me. See the amount of fat on that. Look at that. Yeah. Dang. All right. We probably gonna do one more slice. All right, and then we're gonna turn this thing. So, let me see. So usually, when I was showing y'all or telling y'all earlier, when I was about to season the brisket, how usually there's a big blob of fat, and it's usually right here. So we did a pretty good job of taking that out. Everything looks juicy. You know, so I hate it. Sometimes people show off that and it's big old blob of fat right here. So we did pretty good with that. So put these aside. And so these are gonna be where the burn ends come from. I would say both of the sides, but so we'll cut this kind of thick. And then we'll put that aside. Usually cut this part off and then serve that. It's just a good cut of meat right there. So yeah, that's up. All right. Put that aside, put that aside. Little Scooby snacks for my kids. And so, if you can see that point, looking nice, beautiful, got a little smoke ring. So we're gonna cut a little bit thicker. Like those thick pencils is how you would like to cut this. Let's see. And usually there's like a certain part of the brisket, which I think it's this part, where people don't even like serve at the restaurants. But we're not a restaurant, so we gon' everything is edible. And this slice we'll keep for like some little burn ends or whatever. All right, show you some of the point. Point in, very juicy. Woo! So we gonna plate this up and serve some neighbors. All right, everybody, so I just want to say thank you for watching my video. You can cook good brisket in an offset smoker. You can cook good brisket on a Weber kettle. I've even seen people do the Santa Maria style, which I wouldn't do that, but there's different ways to cook brisket, ribs, and all that stuff, so don't be subjected to one style. Always be creative, always be open to different ideas. I don't always use granulated garlic, Lawry's, salt and pepper for my brisket. It's usually different, but this time I decided to do something different. So don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. You don't always have to do it a certain way. Be open. All right, y'all. So if y'all like the video, please like it, subscribe if you haven't, and thank you to my followers that have been, watching me throughout the years. All right, peace.